Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. Well, we got it. We got the No Man's Sky Beyond trailer. Yesterday, Sean had referred to it as a short video having to do with No Man's Sky Online, and although there were a lot of other character models in the trailer, it seemed to show off a lot of the new features of No Man's Sky Beyond, and they're just calling it the No Man's Sky Beyond trailer. And it basically followed the same format as the No Man's Sky Next trailer, with the same beats and the same scene change times and all that. So it's pretty much, this is the No Man's Sky Beyond trailer. So let's talk about things that were in it. There's quite a bit of new features in it. I had to pause because a lot of it just flashes by really quickly. First thing that you'll notice at the beginning of the trailer, and this is one thing I had to pause to look at, but there's definitely going to be new traveler heads. At the beginning of the trailer, as you're walking out of a cave, you pass another traveler, and the traveler has a really freaky looking head. I would compare it to Greedo from the first Star Wars movie, Star Wars A New Hope, where, you know, Han Solo shoots Greedo in the cantina bar. It looks kind of like that, except it has glowing eyes. It's pretty creepy looking. And then later in the trailer, if you pause, there's some points where things flash by really fast, just like in the next trailer. If you pause, there's another new traveler head that looks kind of like a Wookie head. It looks kind of like a hairy face. And there's another one that looks the height of a Gek, but it does not look like a Gek. It's some other kind of freaky alien thing. I'm guessing they used the short body type and this new head to make this short-looking creature. So a bunch of new traveler heads. Now, I don't want to go saying this means there's going to be a new race. Could be, because those are pretty freaky looking heads, but they could just be new traveler heads. Travelers are basically a grab-all. We're an interdimensional species, so a traveler can be anything, because we're not really one species. We're, you know, limitless possibilities across a multiverse or something like that. So yeah, they might just be new traveler heads that we can choose from, and they're not a new race, but there's some pretty freaky looking stuff, like I said, like Greedo and Wookie looking heads and stuff. So that'll be kind of fun, making a new character with different looks. I think we might be getting improved caves, because like twice in the video they showed caves, and the caves do look a little better. There's more luminous plants. I had been complaining a bit for a while that they kind of messed up the caves in Next. Caves, first of all, there's a lot less cave openings. It's a lot harder to get to a cave. You basically have to drill down with your terrain manipulator to find caves now. You almost never see cave openings, where they used to be all over the place before Next. And there's a lot less luminous plants in caves nowadays. There are still luminous plants, but there wasn't as many as before. So I might be wrong. They may just be the same caves. But in the trailer, there's a really big cave opening. So either Hello Games found a planet, a rare planet that has a large cave opening, and a cave with a lot of luminous plants, or they've made improvements to caves. And from the fact that they showed caves a couple times in the trailer makes me think that they did do an improvement to them, and they're trying to show that off. And then let's talk about the new base machines, which is also kind of related to caves, because they seem to be possibly involving caves. Okay, I saw a couple machines, and I don't know what they are yet, but I'm going to call one a centrifuge because it looked like it had like tubes in a circle that could maybe spin around. Either that or it's some kind of dispenser. But I'm guessing it's a centrifuge. Centrifuges, you know, are used by scientists to spin fluids to separate them. So it could be some new kind of synthesis device, kind of like forge, but instead of heating things up to forge them, or they're not called forges, refinery. Unlike the refinery that heats things up, centrifuges could maybe, I don't know, spin liquids to change them into different liquids or something like that. Because right now, refineries just change solids. We don't have a liquid changing device, so maybe that's what it is, the centrifuge for synthesizing new liquids. And then we've got what I'm calling a driller. The device has pistons on it, you know, like hydraulic pistons, and they kind of look like they're going into the ground, so maybe it's some kind of drilling device, like hydraulic fracking or something, which would be really cool. That's something I've been asking for since the Foundation update. I thought that it would be cool if they would add, of course, we have the auto miners that you put on resources that will auto mine resources for you. But this looks like a driller that maybe you would plonk down anywhere. In fact, maybe it's an oil driller, which would go kind of along with the centrifuge. So maybe we're drilling for liquids on planets now, and then you change them into different things in the centrifuge device. But that's what goes along with caves, is I saw the driller devices, or the piston hydraulic devices in caves. So maybe that's a new advantage to caves, is you can build these drilling devices in caves and you can get more things out of caves. So definitely some new devices to build, base building. There was a lot of base building featured in the trailer, so I think they're definitely going to be adding a lot of stuff. I didn't really see new building parts, though maybe there was some in there. Let me know if you saw something. But I mainly just saw the new devices, which will probably be used in new crafting type stuff. Next thing, which people are probably going to freak out about, I kind of groaned when I saw it, but we have mounts now. We're going to have mounts in the Beyond update. So I saw at least 3 different types of creatures being ridden by travelers. The striders, the 2-legged strider creature, I saw a traveler run by riding that. And later in the trailer, I think it's one of the parts you have to pause on because it goes by really fast. No. It went for a really long time. It showed like 3 travelers riding on crabs, the giant crabs that we've always had. And then earlier in the trailer, if you catch it, a traveler runs by riding one of the small hippo-like creatures. So basically it seems like just about any creature can be ridden as a mount that's big enough. I'm sure if it was a teeny tiny creature you wouldn't be able to ride it, but if it's big enough for you to sit on, I guess you can ride it. I don't know how mounts are going to work. Maybe after you feed them, they'll let you ride them. Funny thing though is really big creatures don't let you feed them. You can't feed the really, really big ones, only the small and medium-sized ones. So I don't know how mounts are going to work. I said I groaned because people have been asking for mounts for a while, and I always thought it was such a dumb idea, especially since we have vehicles now. What's the point of a mount if you have a vehicle? Vehicles are faster, and I can't see any advantage over riding a mount. Sure, it's weird and might be kind of fun to mess around on, but only thing I can think of is, I don't know, maybe creatures can run up mountains more easily, but I mean, vehicles really don't have any trouble going up mountains. So yeah, I can't really think of any advantages to having mounts, but oh well. But it's definitely a freaky thing that a lot of people have been asking for, but I always thought it was dumb. But some people are going to like that. But anyway, next thing... Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So, since the first Beyond teaser trailer, we've had this big building thing. We didn't know what it was, but it's a new building, or so we thought. And there was a lot of speculation about what it was. Now we know from the trailer is that it is the Space Anomaly. It is a new interior for the Space Anomaly. So, the Space Anomaly has often been likened to the TARDIS, Doctor Who's space ship, which is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's just a tiny little police box or phone booth, as we might call it, about that size anyway. I mean, people might not even know what a phone booth is anymore. We don't even have those in America anymore. But yeah, the TARDIS is a spaceship that's just a little box, but on the inside it's a really big spaceship. And so the Space Anomaly was kind of likened, well, and the TARDIS also travels through space and time with ease, and the Space Anomaly, Nada and Polo, have always kind of been like that. They can warp to anywhere the traveler is. They can appear in any star system that you're in. So basically, their Space Anomaly is like the TARDIS. Well, it wasn't bigger on the inside than on the outside. It was just able to warp through space anywhere. But now it's got a gigantic interior, so it is now bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And I know people are going to be disappointed by this. I was pretty disappointed too, because there's been a lot of speculation that it could be the new center of the galaxy, and the thing that we thought was a portal is just the entrance. It shows in the trailer when you fly into it, you're flying through that portal thing. You're flying in, and you don't see the portal, the quote-unquote portal, like we were calling it, on the other side of the room, because you're entering in through that hole. So that's just the entrance to the Space Anomaly. And what looks like a portal is kind of an interdimensional portal thing, because you're basically being warped into a larger room, a room that's larger on the inside than it is from the outside. But it's not really a multiplayer hub like people were thinking. However, you can have other players there, because that's the other big thing. Is at the end of the trailer, they give us a clue as to how many players there are going to be per lobby now. It's definitely more than 4. So that allayed some people's fears. The lobby size is definitely getting bigger, which I'm happy about. I was able to count at least 7 travelers inside the building at the same time. I don't think the lobby size is 7. It's probably 8 or more than 8. It's either 8 or more than 8, but I counted 7. I definitely don't think they would leave it an odd number like 7. So it's probably either 8, so they doubled the lobby size, or it's a lot more than that, and they only showed 7 in the trailer. So that's pretty good. If it's just 8, that's okay. I mean, that'll help me in my spacing guild, because 8 people per lobby is kind of a better party than 4 when we have our holiday party or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And this was supposed to be the No Man's Sky Online trailer, so, but I mean, showing that many players is basically the only thing online, No Man's Sky Online related. But I guess that might make solo players happy, because there wasn't much of anything multiplayer related in this video besides showing other travelers and their bases. There's going to be a lot of base building now that we can have, 8 or more players all together, and it showed a lot of base building in the trailer. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people complaining about this trailer, and like I said, I myself was a little disappointed, especially by the Space Anomaly thing. Now that we know it's not a new building, it's just a new interior for the Space Anomaly, which is pretty disappointing. Oh, what do you know? Here's a cave entrance. So I guess this is a good chance to go look in here. But yeah, as you can see, caves are not that great right now. There's not a whole lot of luminous plants in here. There is some cave entrances, like I just found one. But I think they definitely made an improvement, because like right here, there's hardly any luminous plants. But in the trailer, there's like luminous plants all over the place. So another big question is, will this regenerate the universe? And from this trailer, I'm thinking it will not. I don't think we're going to get a universe reset. I think Hello Games may be done resetting the universe. I could be wrong, but most of the above ground stuff was pretty much the same, and that's what people are going to be really disappointed about. Since the announcement yesterday, a lot of people have been decrying that we're not going to be getting more variety, and in some ways it looks like that is the case, that there's not going to be a lot more planet variety. Pretty much all the planets that you can see in the trailer are ones that we already have. Like I saw the exotic tentacle sphere planet flash by, and travelers were fighting a sentinel walker in that tiny little clip. But, I mean, we have that type of planet already. And it showed a lush planet, which is pretty much the same as lush planets we have now. The trees were pretty big, but you can find lush planets with trees about that big now. So the only variety change that I saw in the trailer was caves. Caves seem to have a lot more luminous plants. But, I mean, that's not a huge change. That's just an improvement. But I don't think that will require a universe reset, because they changed oceans in the Abyss update, and they changed some planet surfaces in the Visions update. So I think, I'm glad they're improving caves, but I think they can improve caves without resetting the universe. But I'm really glad that they're improving them, because I was really underwhelmed by caves. Caves used to be so much prettier, and they're so ugly now. So I'm glad that they may be finally improving caves. But as far as variety goes, that may be the only real variety improvement in this update. But I've always been an advocate for variety, and so I feel you guys. I feel you in the variety camp. I'm in the variety camp. That was kind of right before Next. There was like two camps. There was a camp of people that wanted multiplayer, and then a camp of people that wanted variety. Now that multiplayer is out, the multiplayer camp is much quieter now. There hasn't been many people crying out for variety, or sorry, multiplayer. There has not been a lot of cry out for multiplayer, because we have multiplayer, and that was why I said that I don't think multiplayer improvements are really going to give No Man's Sky much of a boost anymore. But anyway, it seems like a lot more players now are asking for variety, and unfortunately this is not the variety update. If that's what you're looking for, that's not what we're getting in No Man's Sky Beyond. But that's something we can continue asking for. We can continue to ask Hello Games for more variety, and hopefully they will add more. But I am glad they improved caves, and there's a lot of interesting new things, and I personally am very happy with this update, mainly because of VR. VR is basically all I wanted from this update. I wanted them to add VR so that we could have that experience with No Man's Sky. And I know some people are not interested in VR, are not going to do VR, and those people are pretty disappointed by a lot of things in this update. So my heart goes out to those people, and I understand where you're coming from. I'm not complaining at all. I am a little disappointed by the trailer, but I'm very happy that we're getting VR, that we're getting some new devices and things to mess around with. I don't know about mounts. I'm not going to comment on that much more. I think it's dumb. But I'm definitely looking forward to the Beyond update. I know I can kind of feel the storm coming. I can tell there's going to be a lot more complaining about this, but um, I'm not saying anybody's wrong or they shouldn't complain, but I personally am happy. But I definitely understand where the people that are complaining are coming from. But oh well, that's about it. We're going to be getting more information, of course, next week when articles come out about it. I'm guessing a lot of what the articles are going to say are what we saw in this trailer, like mounts, and I don't know if they'll talk about the new base building devices. I'm guessing Sean will probably show them the new interior for the Space Anomaly, but we already know about that. So, but hopefully there'll be some new stuff that we'll find out about from the interviews. I don't know what it'll be, but yeah, hopefully there's still some more things in this update that we don't know about that will be pretty cool. But anyway, that's about it for now. I am still very much looking forward to the Beyond update, especially because of VR, and a lot of the other stuff looks like it'll be pretty cool to play with. So anyway, I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day, and remember, everything is going to be okay.